New Thought Media Network. We are a global broadcast network of positive music, media, and entertainment, inspiring humanity's evolution along the journey of enlightenment and creating a world of love, peace, empowerment, and prosperity for all. New Thought Media Network. Positively inspiring. New Thought Media Network. We are a global broadcast network of positive music, media, and entertainment, inspiring humanity's evolution along the journey of enlightenment and creating a world of love, peace, empowerment, and prosperity for all. New Thought Media Network. Positively inspiring.
Live from a secure concrete bunker somewhere in Ohio, New Thought Media Network presents Pastor Michael Mangus with Friday's Fireside Chat, spiritual conversation for today. Here he is from the secret radio room, surrounded by thousands of watts, Pastor Michael Mangus.
Well, good evening to everyone across the United States and also around the world. It is time once again for another fun-filled, thrill-packed, and guaranteed always exciting edition of the Fireside Chat here on the New Thought Media Network. I am Pastor Michael Mangus. I am broadcasting this evening from the super secret radio room, surrounded by thousands, and I mean thousands of watts in the secure concrete bunker somewhere around Akron, Ohio, that is so top secret that only Diego Reyes knows where it's at. Reverend Robert has no clue of where the super secret concrete bunker is located. Well, anyhow, hi, good evening. Welcome to everyone this evening. We have a wonderful show for you tonight. So please feel free to interact with us by posting your comments below on Facebook. And also for all my shy people out there, and I know you're out there, please feel free to contact me by email. That's Pastor Michael Mangus at gmail.com, Pastor Michael Mangus at gmail.com. The purpose of our fireside chat here is for us to talk about contemporary issues from a New Thought perspective. And as I keep saying over and over and over again, I want us all to have a new thought about what is going on in the world, that we can actually see beyond the appearances. And we can actually also see a world coming forth that does work for everyone. Our special guest this evening, very glad he said yes, is author and minister, the Reverend Jim Webb, whose third book is on the soul of prosperity. That's available now on Amazon. Jim was Dr. Charlotte Manning's last guest on her show before her passing a few weeks ago. This evening, we'll be speaking on his book and what does it mean to be prosperous and how we can, if we want to, make massive changes in our life. So Reverend Jim Webb will be with us here in around 30 minutes. Happy springtime to everyone out there. Spring arrived last Sunday at 11:30 a.m. And I hope all of you are getting your plants for your yards and also your gardens together. And we have some flowers that are blooming around here, which is really nice. And we've also been known to have snow on Easter Sunday. Now, this weekend, we've had temperatures in the 60s and 70s this week. Tomorrow, the forecast is, brace for it, snow. So you never know what the forecast will be here in northeastern Ohio. So the all clear for all of my California friends for no more snow has not been issued yet by the National Weather Service. So we here at the Fireside Chat will continue to keep you updated when the no more snow advisory will be issued for Ohio. And it probably will not happen until May. Yeah. Well, again, hello there, everyone. From the news this evening, from CNN, the vacation mode is on. If you're on the West Coast, grab your sunglasses and head to the beach this weekend. Most of Western U.S. will be experiencing record-breaking heat for the next few days. Isn't that nice? However, not everyone is excited to get an early taste of summer. March is considered a high season for many ski resorts in the Mountain West, and this weekend will be a seasonal shock. We'll have to check with Diego to see if there's snow in the Colorado area. He's just putting his hands up in the air going, I don't know. Well, on a more serious note, let's go to the Ukraine. President Joe Biden will travel to Poland today, making his second stop on a trip through Europe aimed at coordinating the Western response to the Russia invasion of the Ukraine. In yesterday's crisis talks in Brussels ended with Western leaders touting their unity and announcing new sanctions on hundreds of Russia's elite. Ukraine also updated its extensive wish list of additional military assistance from the United States government, saying that it needed, get this, 1,000 missiles per day, according to a document provided to CNN. Less than 2 weeks ago into the Russia invasion, the U.S. and other NATO members have sent around 17,000 anti-tank missiles and 2,000 anti-aircraft missiles into the Ukraine. Since then, NATO countries, including the U.S., have kept the pipeline of weapons and equipment flowing, even as Russia has threatened to target those shipments. Separately, more than 3.5 million refugees have now fled the Ukraine, according to new UN data. And for its part, the U.S. will also welcome up to 100,000 Ukrainians and others fleeing Russia's aggression, a senior administration official said yesterday. We have several Ukrainian communities here in northeastern Ohio, so I think we're going to be getting our share of influx here in Ohio. Also, from several news reports, it seems that the Russian attacks have been stalled, with Russian forces taking heavy casualties. I did contact Katie, who's one of our practitioners in Centers for Spiritual Living, and she's keeping in contact with our practitioners and centers in the Ukraine. She reports that under the circumstances, they are all doing well. We continue our prayer for peace in the Ukraine. Again, we pray the solution and not the problem. I even read that the other day in a Word of Faith book that says, pray the solution, not the problem. Interesting. So we're just keeping the high watch here. We're affirming peace, and we know that it happens now, right now. We don't wonder how it's going to happen. We just know that it happens now, right now. Also in the news, confirmation hearings for Supreme Court nominee Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson wrapped up yesterday after 4 days. Jackson spoke about her judicial experience and addressed the historic nature of her nominations, which would make her the first Black female Supreme Court justice. The hearing also featured contentious, I would say outright rude, contentious moments of harsh questioning by committee Republicans. Senator Lindsey Graham took issue with her sentencing of child pornography offenders and even criticized her as an activist. On the other hand, New Jersey Democratic Senator Cory Booker delivered a very moving speech that brought the tears to the nominee. The Senate Judiciary Committee will vote on Judge Jackson's Supreme Court nomination on Monday, April the 4th. And we also found out today, before we went on the air, that West Virginia Democratic Senator Joe Manchin announced today that he plans to vote for Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson, a move that all but guarantees that she will be confirmed. Yes. And again, if you get a chance to watch Cory Booker's speech, get some Kleenex out. It was very moving. And also, we must continue to speak up and speak out for equality in our society. I mean, it's taken us how long to get a woman Supreme Court justice, a Black woman Supreme Court justice? Anyhow, I'm glad that that is going through. News for Diego. If you want to take yourself to the most epic Easter egg hunt at the White House, the lottery for free tickets opens today. So if you want to go to the White House, Diego, and participate in the Easter egg hunt, there is a link on CNN for where you are to go. Well, today's quote is by Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton, who said this. He says, the Texas legislature has made it clear that when it comes to sex education, parents, not the school districts, are in charge. The Attorney General argued that Pride Week activities at the school that celebrate LGBTQIA plus students, staff, and families are breaking state law. In a letter to the Austin Independent School District Superintendent, Paxton, a Republican, says that the district's curriculum and lessons plans deal head-on with sexual orientation and gender, and says that Texas law requires parental consent in writing before students are taught about human sexuality. I don't make this stuff up, people. It says, we are not worried about Paxton's letter. A district spokesperson told CNN, Pride Week and sex education are different, and celebrating diversity and acceptance is completely legal in the state of Texas. Now, if you've watched the Fireside Chat at all for the past 2 years, you know that I am pro everyone. And again, we all must speak truth to power, even though some individuals will not like the stand that we take. So this week, I asked for information from a business in Pennsylvania on a piece of equipment. I even went ahead and joined the professional group on Facebook. Well, the owner of the business and the Facebook page looked me up and made a comment that I made about Planned Parenthood providing basic women's medical health care. He didn't like that. Again, the whole argument on all those who opposed it was all about the abortion issue. Well, the relationship really soured to the point that he lied to me that he even manufactured the equipment that I was wanting to purchase from him. Again, that's very interesting. Another business person who does social media consulting refused me as a client because I wasn't Christian enough. And then one of the Christian pastors he was consulting with didn't pay him on an agreed upon fee. I wrote in the Facebook post that if he worked with me, he would have gotten paid every penny. So that's what happened also with the business owner I talked with also this week, is that if we made a deal on something, you better believe I'm going to pay you. So I will continue to speak up and speak out in love, and I continue you to do the same. Again, human rights for everyone. We must use our voices and our influence to have a world that works for everyone. All right. Well, good evening to you all. Welcome. This is a Friday evening fireside chat here on the New Thought Media Network, produced professionally this evening by Diego Reyes, who's spinning the dials at Master Control. Thank you, Diego, for your service. Appreciate that. I have one more article this evening. Churches reopened, but congregants are missing, a new study revealed. And this is from Mark Kellner from the Washington Times from Wednesday. He said there may be a church and it may have a steeple, but open up the post-pandemic doors, and there's likely far few people inside. Here's the church, here's the steeple, open it up, and there's the people. I mean, we used to do that in grade school. But a new survey revealed on Wednesday, while more churches, synagogues, and mosques and other houses of worship are opening up and holding services, as they did pre-pandemic, fewer are attending. Just 27% of the U.S. adults told the Pew Research Center that they worship in person. That is up 1% from last September. The number of Americans who said that they view service on TV or via online streaming, meanwhile, is up to 30% from September's 28%. Evangelicals and those who are registered Republicans or who lean towards the GOP were most likely to say that their church is back up to pre-pandemic operations. And that response came from 60% of evangelicals and also 58% of Republicans. Mainline Protestant church members, such as those in the Episcopal, United Methodist, and Evangelical Lutheran churches, reported a 33% return to normal, while registered Democrats and those who lean Democratic report 27% of their churches were open to the public and holding services as before. Congregants of Catholic churches say that 58% of those parishes were in pre-pandemic mode, and 21% of those who attended historically Black congregations reported similar figures. The survey, conducted March 7th through the 13th among U.S. adults, had responses from over 10,000 people who participated via in what the district-based group called self-administered web surveys. Those without internet access were provided a internet connection and also a tablet, Pew Research said. And the poll had a margin of sampling error plus or minus 1.5 percentage points, which is pretty good. All right, so the question here is whether people will be coming back to live worship. And again, for many congregations, the answer may be to downsize. I've noticed an uptick in the commercial real estate market of churches putting their buildings for sale. I think, though, a higher question to ask is this: how can we serve not only our area, but the world? We have a mega church in our area. Former Baptist church had the largest Sunday school in the world. that was practically given to a congregation for $1 million. And the congregation said, no, this is too big for us. And now it's back on sale. And it's to the point that they have squatters and homeless people living in the building. So again, I think that there's other ways of building community. I think that there's other ways, again, of doing church. That's why I've been saying that we all need to listen deeply. Even the church growth people, they're scratching their heads because we've never been through a pandemic. We've been through one in the past, but not in the past 10 years. So again, everyone's kind of scratching their heads, and I have been talking to colleagues, and they all have been telling me that we all need to deeply listen to Spirit here. What is Spirit trying to say or to reveal to us about how to serve in this post-pandemic world? All right. That is all the news that is fit to print for this week. It is 8:20. Diego, I think I broke my record. There's, hold it. Double applause. All right. That was fun. All right. We have some announcements, and then we will go to break and then have, as our special guest this evening, the author of The Soul of Prosperity from the Maryland area. It is the Reverend Jim Webb, and his book is available also on Amazon. You can get in contact with him also. We are going to have a very frank discussion this evening about prosperity, which again sometimes has been misconstrued. There's been people that say, well, you should not preach that prosperity gospel. We're going to talk to Reverend Jim here in just a few moments, how this is different. All right. So let's go to our announcements here. Yours truly is parking himself now at Summit CSL. For more information, if you could, go to summitcsl.org. There you will find more information about our wonderful Sunday gathering online at 10:30 Eastern, 7:30 Pacific time. Go grab your cup of coffee, your tea, your espresso, your chai, your boba tea. Please join us. And I do believe that we do have one of the best services out in New Thought. The reason being is we have a balance. We have a balance of music. We have a balance of meditation. And we also have a balance of message. So again, if you go to summitcsl.org, you'll get more information about our Zoom call. Please join us. And this Sunday, we will continue our March theme on beauty with New Thought Media Network superstar and all-around nice guy, Pastor Michael Mangus, speaking on blooming where you are planted. So go to summitcsl.org for more information, how to join our Zoom call. And again, our service is also simulcast on the Summit Spiritual Center of Akron Facebook page, and our Facebook page also has past broadcasts of the Fireside Chat, and yours truly when he's doing prayer on the New Thought Media Network. Okay. Again, the schedule grows each and every week. We would be here past midnight if I started to tell you all of the shows on your network. Look at that. Unbelievable. I remember when when it wasn't such color-coded. Wasn't that long ago, but we have all kinds of programs for you. We also have programs in Spanish, but the schedule's up on ntmedia.org. There you'll find out more information about our wonderful network, ntmedia.org. And you have an opportunity here to partner with us. We are getting open doors to places that we have never even been invited before through this network. And we are asking for you to partner with us. providing the financial support that we need to be able, again, to take this message to the whole world. We are making a difference out there. So if you could please go to ntmedia.org/donate. There you can go ahead and you can give a very generous one-time gift, or if you'd like, you can do what I do, and that is give on a monthly basis. It really does make a difference. Your gift really does count. By you giving the gift, that's one feel good, but also knowing that, again, that your gift affects individuals around the world. Isn't that cool? ntmedia.org/donate. Okay. Diego back in master control. I think it's time for a break here. You're watching the Friday Evening Fireside Chat here on the New Thought Media Network.
Thank you, Center for Spiritual Living Denver, for your continued support. Thank you, Center for Spiritual Living Midtown Atlanta, for your monthly contribution. Thank you, Center for Spiritual Living North Jersey, for your monthly contribution. And please help us welcome Om Center for Spiritual Living in La Mesa, California. Thank you for your monthly donation. Thank you, Center for Spiritual Living Seattle, for your most generous donation. And a special thanks to Hefferlin Foundation for your generous technology grant. And Suze Ajit, thank you for your very generous donation. And a super special thank you to Dr. Tracy Brown, RSCP. Thanks for being a super donor. And a big shout out to all our committed donors.
New Thought Media Network is on the rise. We're looking to grow with you. Do you have technical media experience, or perhaps a desire to learn? Are you willing to volunteer your precious time and attention? We share this message to benefit all. If you possess a computer with a camera and a microphone, we will share our knowledge with you. Behind the scenes or being the star, let us bless our one. Contact us at info@ntmedia.org.
The views and opinions expressed by Pastor Michael Mangus are generally right. However, they are his own and do not reflect the views and opinions of New Thought Media Network, Centers for Spiritual Living, or any other person living or dead. As they say in the 12-Step Recovery Program, take what you like and leave the rest. Here again is Pastor Michael.
Oh, thank you so very much. And welcome this evening to the Friday Evening Fireside Chat. We are so pleased and privileged to have with us tonight author and minister, the Reverend Jim Webb. He is an ordained interfaith minister who serves as a senior minister of the Takoma Park Chapel in Silver Springs, Maryland. He has studied and taught metaphysics for over 30 years and lectures and teaches workshops nationally, sharing the wisdom that he has received. He also serves as a faculty member of Iyanla VanZant's Inner Vision Institute. He's also taught at the New Seminary in New York City. In addition to his MDiv degree, Masters of Divinity from New Seminary, Reverend Webb also has a Bachelor of Science in Economics from the Wharton School and also an MBA from New York University. He has served on the board of directors of a Washington, D.C.-based AIDS service organization, and also as a vice president of marketing for a DC-based information technology firm. His business acumen, his spiritual wisdom, and also inspiring counseling style. Very mellow. Has helped him to help countless people to overcome their fears and live with joy. And these experiences combined to help you in his latest release called The Soul of Prosperity. All the way from Silver Springs, Maryland, let's welcome the Reverend Jim Webb. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. It's such a pleasure to be here and an honor.
Yes. And thanks for kind of propping me up this week. Jim's been checking up on me ever since our friend, Dr. Manning, has taken leave from us. So I appreciate that, Jim. I really do. And I miss her. We were talking beforehand about how I used to just ask a question when she was on. And then basically I could go ahead, shut my camera off, go get a drink of water or a soft drink, come back and she's still talking.
Well, I need you to stay here with me because I'm an introvert and I need you to draw me out.
Oh, okay. I think I can do that tonight.
Okay.
Especially in New Thought, there's been a lot of prosperity books. So what prompted you to write The Soul of Prosperity?
I've had a lot of experience that is unique. I was the vice president of a company, so I have had a lot of business experience. And one of the things that was interesting to me was how that business wisdom, when merged with spiritual wisdom, gave you a potent combination of ways to create your good. I also counseled many people over decades. And in counseling these people, I found common blockages to prosperity and common ways that we could allow more prosperity. And so the business wisdom, the spiritual experience and wisdom, the counseling experience made me realize there is something here that everyone can benefit from. And that's why I wrote the book.
And for those people who have not picked up their copy of The Soul of Prosperity, please go on Amazon and do so. You will find a different prosperity book than what you have read in the past, believe me. So why did you name the book, Reverend Jim? Why did you name it The Soul of Prosperity?
I named the book The Soul of Prosperity because it differs from other books in that it does the actual soul work to allow prosperity. One of my mentors, Ann White, studied with Eva Pirakos, the pathwork of the soul. And so my approach to prosperity is healing yourself of all the blockages to the prosperity that exists all around you so that you can allow it. And this is very similar to an old Rumi quote, love is all around. Our task is to remove the blockages to it. Well, prosperity is all around. And our task is to remove the unconscious blockages to that prosperity.
And I think that that's what you are going to find out when you get a copy of the book is that, and again, I talked to Jim off the air about this, is that a lot of times, they'll just give you like a bunch of affirmations and they'll tell you some pretty general stuff. But I think that this book really goes into the real reasons why that we do not prosper in our lives. Let me share a story. There was the reprint of Dr. Joseph Murphy's book, The Power of Your Subconscious Mind, and that the editor of the book, who's escaping me right now, do you know who I'm talking about, Jim?
No.
Okay. All right. So the editor of the book went ahead, and his name will come to me here in just a moment. But he got a letter that said that the woman had been applying the prosperity suggestions given by Dr. Murphy, and that she still hasn't received her prosperity. And so I would have gone into a little bit more about, well, what are your feelings around it? What do you believe about money? I wasn't really satisfied with the answer given by the editor. So I think that this book is absolutely different. So again, please get a copy of the book and judge for yourself. So we've been talking about it. So what is prosperity?
Prosperity, to me, is a sense of well-being that goes far beyond money and stuff. Prosperity is a sense of well-being and balance in your relationships. Prosperity is a sense of well-being and balance in your finances, no matter whether your income is $20,000 or $2 million. If your expenses are larger than your income, then chances are you're going to be anxious about it and you won't have peace. Prosperity to me is also a sense of inner peace. Let's call that spiritual prosperity, and a life that works for you, which I call logistical prosperity. You can have a great job and you can spend 7 hours a day on the Beltway. That's what we call it around Washington. Every city has one. And you could be miserable, which is not necessarily prosperous, even though you've got a great job. If you spend 4 hours in traffic every day, you're miserable. You've got a beautiful house. You don't see it in the daylight for 6 months a year. You're miserable. So that to me is a broader sense of prosperity, which gives you a hint into a different aspect of prosperity, which is that prosperity begins within. And when you cultivate a consciousness of inner prosperity, all of the outer trappings of prosperity come to you naturally. There was an old quote in the Bible, "Seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, and all else shall be added unto you." Well, you cultivate an inner energy, an inner vibration, an inner frequency of prosperity. And it is inevitable that many of the outer effects of prosperity come to you naturally.
Oh, absolutely. So we've mentioned the P word, the prosperity word,
Yes.
and that one of the things that I've heard, and again, going on YouTube, all the dangers of the prosperity gospel,
Yes.
which is preached on Sunday mornings by, again, your television evangelist. So how is this the same or different than the prosperity gospel, quote unquote, that's being taught today in evangelical churches in America?
I would characterize the difference as follows. Many people view prosperity as stuff outside of us. I view prosperity, and this book's approach is prosperity is an energy within you that draws to you all outer circumstances that are a reflection of prosperity. And in addition to that, many people look at the stuff and they believe, and I call this putting the cart before the horse. If I've got the stuff, then I'm okay. When in fact, the other way around is the way that works better for most people. If I'm okay, then the stuff doesn't matter as much, and whatever stuff I have makes me happy. Right. And that shift in perspective, which some people call a miracle from A Course in Miracles, that shift in perspective is how my prosperity book differs. And in addition to that, my prosperity book goes beyond the aphorisms and the affirmations of prosperity to the unconscious blockages to prosperity that are common to all of us, and how to release those unconscious blockages. And it goes beyond that as well, because once you release those unconscious blockages, some people still don't have prosperity because they don't have a roadmap on how to create it or get there. So the first thing that we do is we release the unconscious blockages to prosperity, which allows a flow of good. And then with intention, we create prosperity in the areas that we desire by developing a roadmap and a menu unique to us. And the book has exercises to help you create that roadmap that is unique to you. Okay, this is the area of prosperity that you desire. Then this is the formula that works for you. These are the affirmative prayers that you use. This is the vision board that you use. These are the things that you work on and look at and continually cultivate within you in order for you to create the individual type of prosperity that you desire. So you develop your own personal roadmap once you've cleared the blockages. And that's why my book differs from other books.
If you're wondering what you've stumbled onto. Hi there. Good evening. This is the Friday evening Fireside Chat here on the New Thought Media Network. We're talking this evening with the Reverend Jim Webb. This is his third book, and it's called The Soul of Prosperity. And we're talking about the whole idea of using spiritual principles to manifest prosperity, not only in your bank account, but also on all the other areas of your life. Jim, when you were talking about the Beltway, which I've driven on,
Yes.
and believe me, I prayed my way around the Beltway.
Amen. Haven't we all?
The Beltway around Washington, D.C. is best navigated at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and you will still have traffic going around the Beltway of Washington, D.C. So with the pandemic, we've seen people having some time to have a break away from their job, and many of them are not going back.
Yes.
And they're saying, why should I go back and again spend 4 hours a day in traffic? And also that if the job is calling them back to the office, that many people are saying, well, either you let me continue working from home, or I'm going to find another job. So do you think that people are becoming more awakened as far as job satisfaction and saying, you know what, if I just work for the money, this is just not satisfying for me? So what's going on in the consciousness here, especially in this country?
There has been a profound shift as a result of the pandemic. People realized, hey, do I really need this? Can I be more at peace, and can I live with less? And in addition to that, is this really worth my life? And so there has been this large shift towards a greater work-life balance. There has been a large shift towards balancing family life with professional life. There has been a realization that titles may not be as important as they once were, because all that matters is love. And a lot of this was fomented by the pandemic. And so people are looking for different ways to prosper.
And I think what happened during the pandemic is that many families who, again, did not spend time together were forced to spend time together, and that many people are going, taking a look at their family and they're going, here I'm sacrificing time for money. Is this really, really worth it? And also taking a look at job satisfaction.
Yeah.
When you do counseling, when people come in and say, well, I don't like my job, so what do you counsel them to do?
Ask themselves, why don't you like your job? What is the essence of your job that you don't like? What does it remind you of? And what is the essence of a job that you would like? And I ask them not to look at the specifics of the job. What are the essential elements of the job, and how do they affect you? Do they feed your soul? Do they offer you an opportunity to express? Do they optimally utilize your talents, your skills, your experience, and your knowledge? And what would be the type of job that would optimize the use of your talent, your skills, your experiences, and your knowledge? Because many people who don't like their jobs basically are not in a place where their fullest of being can come through on their jobs. And so when they recognize the fullness of their being and how the fullness of their being can be optimally deployed or displayed on a job, then they move forward in creating the type of job that allows the fullness of their being to come through. But that identification is the first step.
Yes, if you're going to work for just money and wondering why you're so tired at the end of the day, again, you may want to go and book a session with your local practitioner or minister, or Jim, he's available, and start talking about the whole idea of loving what you do, seeing it as a part of service. What if what you did, you saw it as a part of the greater whole of contributing to a greater whole? So how can we regain prosperity in our lives? Again, we talked about, the subconscious beliefs and the things that have kept prosperity from us. So how can we regain that and even go beyond that?
One of the ways that we can regain it is, first of all, looking at the prosperity that may be hidden in plain sight in our lives, by looking at the things that already bring us joy, by understanding what makes us tick, understanding what brings us joy, and looking at how those elements may already be in aspects of our lives, but we don't realize it. One of the things that the book does is it causes us to realize, is this my idea of prosperity, or is this an idealized version of prosperity given to me by Wall Street, by Madison Avenue, or by other outer forces that says, if your life looks like this, you will be prosperous, and if not, you're not? Because what happens quite often is we have this idealized version based on our miseducation, that this is what prosperity looks like. And if our life doesn't look like it, we judge ourselves to be deficient, and we judge our lives to be deficient, and we overlook the prosperity that is basically hiding in plain sight in our lives. So the first thing that my book helps us to do is to define prosperity on our own terms, instead of based on what society says is supposed to make you happy. And once you define it on your own terms, you can look for the essence of those elements in all the aspects of your life. And many times people have realized, wait a minute, I'm already more prosperous than I ever imagined. How can I build on this? I don't have to blow my whole life up. I just have to make some enhancements in certain areas to develop the essence of prosperity that already exists.
And it could be just right in front of you.
Yes.
But you just don't notice it yet.
Yes. You could be blinded because somebody else has put their vision of prosperity in front of your eyes instead of your own.
Right. Including New Thought centers. If I know I stepped into it, but that's what we do here on the New Thought Media Network. No, I just think that, again, if the whole idea that Jim's book is absolutely wonderful, because it gives you a roadmap to be able to start defining in your life what is prosperity, and also uncovering some of the blocks that even again, if you've been doing affirmations for years and it's still not happening, again, there's deeper work to be done. So you talk about in your book about the X factor of prosperity. What is that?
The X factor of prosperity is the integration of mind treatment, heart opening, and energy clearing to allow a full flow of energy that allows a fuller flow of prosperity. And what do I mean by that full opening? Have you ever, well, not you, I have. I have. The district, when I lived in the District of Columbia, one year they gave me a tax bill for $900, except that they didn't send it to me. The tax bill, right?
Okay.
So 10 years later, they sent it to me with 10 years worth of interest.
What? Okay.
Which means
gotcha.
that I had to pay it, right? Now, do you think I wanted to pay it?
I don't think so.
So I drive down to the administration building, affirming a parking space. How long do you think it took me to get a parking space?
An hour?
An hour and a half. You know why?
Well, tell me, Reverend Webb, why did it take you an hour and a half if you were using affirmations and also that trick that we teach all the beginning metaphysical students of how to manifest a parking space? Go ahead.
Because I didn't want to be there. I didn't want to take that check. I didn't want to write that check. It was like Whoopi Goldberg and Ghost when she gave that check to the person in the Salvation Army. The last thing in the world I wanted to do was to take that big check and give it to the government of District of Columbia. So my head was affirming a parking space. My heart was closed, and my energy didn't want it. There was not integration. There was not alignment. And that's what thwarts all of our prosperity. You know, if not, we would all be prosperous, right?
Right.
But our minds, we may be filled with affirmations, aphorisms, cliches, but our energy may not be in alignment with that. And that's the X factor. I'll give you an example. And you've kind of alluded to this already, Reverend Michael, of the person who says, I do all these affirmations. I've been doing all these affirmations. I've been doing all these affirmations. And I'm so angry. I do all these affirmations. I do all these affirmations. I do all these affirmations. And I am frustrated. Well, what do you think is creating your life? It's not the affirmations, it's the anger and frustration. The anger and frustration is an invitation for your growth, for your healing, for your clearing, so that you can allow the affirmations that are in the gateway of your mind to be fully present in your energy and in your flow.
And I think that's one of the things, again, in the past 20 years that we have integrated in many New Thought teachers is, again, paying attention to your feelings rather than just going ahead and, putting them to the side or ignoring them. That is dangerous to your prosperity. That's my free prosperity tip for this evening. If you ignore your pain, if you put a nice layer of New Thought over it, put a spiritual Band-Aid on it, you're still going to experience what you're experiencing because, again, the hidden feelings underneath. So you're being given the opportunity, like Jim says, to go ahead and to heal that. We just have a few more minutes. So, Jim, what chapter of the book are you finding that people most resonate with?
I did a poll, and the chapter of the book people resonate with the most is chapter 8. Chapter 8 is your silencing your inner saboteurs, those inner feelings of unworthiness, the inner child and its unmet needs, the inner critic, the inner judge. For those are the inner energies that block prosperity. And many people, including many very experienced practitioners, saw themselves in those pages. And they realized, oh, this is what is blocking my prosperity. This miseducation is causing me to reject the prosperity that the universe has for me. And so many people resonated with that. And what was fascinating to me was the wide range of people who resonated with that. One fellow was the CEO of a company, and he was familiar with prosperity gospel in that dismissive way. Oh, that prosperity gospel, dismissive of it. But what he realized was that this wasn't just, that prosperity gospel that he could dismiss. It had some, he wasn't necessarily spiritual at all, but it had some truth for him. Another fellow was a scientist, and he reached out to me and he said, I'm a scientist, but this makes sense. And a third fellow, it's fascinating. And a third fellow reached out to me and he said, I'm Catholic. I've been Catholic all my life. And the part that resonated for him was prayer, because he said, I thought prayer was recitation. I didn't know you could use the power of prayer to pray into a new energy and then create with a new energy. So
isn't that wonderful?
Yeah.
So again, we're with the Reverend Jim Webb from his home in Maryland. If you would like a copy of the book, it's available on Amazon, and also if you like hardbound or paperback, you can get it that way, or you can download it tonight using your Kindle. Great book. And again, this is different than a lot of the prosperity books are out there. Well, how do I know that? Because I have a whole closet full of them. Again, and that most of them say the same thing. And the gentleman I was talking to, the editor, is Mitch Horowitz.
Okay.
And so again, he's taken a lot of the old school New Thought books and then again reprinted them. But again, that if the actual affirmations are not working, and again, that you're still putting out the anger and the frustration, what the universe is going to read is your anger and frustration, not what you're saying about the what you're declaring to be your prosperity. So you said you did a poll. So what was the most surprising feedback you got?
The most surprising feedback was that many of the people that are attracted to me and to my ministry and to my counseling are practitioners who have been practicing for a while. And they were most shocked that they could learn something because they thought they had been through it all, knew it all, and many of them had read all the other prosperity books. And they were shocked at how different mine was.
Yes, because again, it goes in and does the inner soul work that many times that, and I tell folks, especially if you're doing prosperity affirmations, is to notice your feelings. Those feelings are a real gift. They're showing you specifically within the subconscious where, and it's pointing the direction of where that you may need some healing here. So we only have minutes here. We only have less than 2 minutes. So besides going and get the book, give us some parting thoughts here for this evening.
My parting thought would be, help yourself, love yourself, know yourself, and allow yourself to be who God intended you to be. Who you made up as a human has nothing to do with God's intention for you. Your experiences as a human have nothing to do with God's intention for you. God's intention for you is joy and love. And when you know yourself as God's beloved, when you allow yourself to be the love that fills you, and when you express that easily and effortlessly, all the joy God wills for you is yours, just as easily and effortlessly.
Jim Webb, you've been a delight this evening. Thank you so very much. If you'd like a copy of the book, again, The Soul of Prosperity, if you go to Amazon, they'll be more than happy, or your favorite bookseller, they'll be more than happy to go ahead and also order it for you. Jim, come back sometime. We'd love to have you come back and share with us again. The book is called The Soul of Prosperity, and its author is the Reverend Jim Webb. Thank you so very much for being with us this evening.
Thank you, Mike. It's been a pleasure and a joy.
All right. Thank you, Jim. So the music is playing in the background, which means Diego wants me to shut up. Well, listen, again, please support our wonderful network. newthoughtmedia.org/donate. Again, all the doors that are opening, you get to help us go through them by your monthly support. ntmedia.org/donate. On behalf of my producer, Diego Reyes, and also my guest this evening, Jim Webb, this is Pastor Michael Mangus wishing you a wonderful week.
Thank you, Center for Spiritual Living Denver, for your continued support. Thank you, Center for Spiritual Living Midtown Atlanta, for your monthly contribution. Thank you, Center for Spiritual Living North Jersey, for your monthly contribution. And please help us welcome Om Center for Spiritual Living in La Mesa, California. Thank you for your monthly donation. Thank you, Center for Spiritual Living Seattle, for your most generous donation. And a special thanks to Hefferlin Foundation for your generous technology grant. And Suze Ajit, thank you for your very generous donation. And a super special thank you to Dr. Tracy Brown, RSCP. Thanks for being a super donor. And a big shout out to all our committed donors.